Welcome in, everyone, to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. This is the man that we call Bibby wearing a Manchester United shirt. They try to tell you it's Hyde United. It's just fine, Bib. Don't sit up straight. It's fine. Stay as you are. Hey, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Tito says, is it 10-ish already? Yeah, it's 10-ish. Yeah, we went live at 10:58, so that counts. It's fine. No, we had I had a conference call today, so the start of the stream was delayed, so I could finish the console call. But we always say 10-ish, so it's good, it's good, it's good. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. Mr. Number One Pirate with one of the exclusive Ice Cream Uploads subscriber emotes there in the chat. And it sounds a little bit like this.
It's been a while since I've done this, to be fair, so let me channel my inner voice.
Another good one, big one.
Hello!
Yeah, there we go.
Did I RTX it out? I don't know.
No, it worked, it worked. It was good, it was good. Yeah, I mean, I can't even do the Champions League theme tune without getting RTX, but you can yell at your microphone. Ridiculous, ridiculous.
Yeah, I can.
Morning, Max. Actually, sorry, Val Venus. Hello,
Sorry, mate.
ladies.
Morning, Max. How's it going, bro?
I'll read. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Has everyone bought a PS5 already? Have we all pre-ordered? I say all, we all. I know Bibby hasn't, but has everyone else that isn't Bibby pre-ordered a PS5 already? Has everyone struggled with PS5 pre-orders? How has everyone been getting on with it? Before we jump into that, though, as mentioned, I'm Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is the scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond, and well, from the world of PS5 and beyond, as it's going to be today. You will see as we go through the show, and that's what you'd expect after there was the PS5 showcase last night. Anyway, we're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on that showcase and any other stories, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. So if you're live on the chat, we are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. If you're watching this on demand on YouTube a little bit later on, feel free to join us at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday. Anyway, but if you are live in the chat, please feel free to get involved in the discussions, because I did mention YouTube. We turn this into a YouTube video and a podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you're live, you get to be the chance to be the voice of those people watching and listening online and on demand later on. So yeah. Mate, I got the PS5 and the PC looking Xbox.
Did he, He hasn't got two quids to rub together, that lad.
Does he mean he's just got a PC? Oh no, I'm making them into a PC master race soon.
He's got a Mac.
He's got a Mac in his name. That's the one. Number One Pirate says sold out by the time my meetings were finished this morning. Go Ted. See, I'm a night owl, so I was just up at silly o'clock last night, laid in bed, and then I saw like the game pre-orders went live, and I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna get it on Amazon. And I even tweeted out, if you're gonna buy the console, make sure you go to smile.amazon.co.uk, because if you go to www.amazon, it's fine, it's the website. If you go to smile.amazon, then anything you purchase, a percentage of your purchases gets given to a charity by Amazon, so you don't lose anything. It's exactly the same website, just Amazon give it to charity, which I always think is a bit shit, because it's like, if you're just giving the money to charity, why don't you just do it on amazon.co.uk anyway, rather than smile.amazon? Anyway, the money goes to charity, so I have special effects in mind. So I thought, well, if I'm buying a £500 console and a percentage goes, then that's a decent percentage that's going to go to... I mean, it's a decent chunk. It's only a small percentage, but it's a decent chunk. Even if it's only a few quid, it'll be a nice bit. And then ended up instantly going and buying it from Game because it was live. I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it! Insta buy. Boom. Aratrack says, if you buy the disc version, can you still download games virtual? Yes, yeah, it's not just disc, so it's disc and digital, whereas the other one is just digital only. So you still have access to the PS Store and everything exactly like you would. It just gives you a disc drive so that you can play hard disc copies. So if you buy anything, borrow anything, whatever, play DVDs, if people still do that, then yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was awake at stupid o'clock this morning, didn't even think of checking game, was too busy updating the Dugout Discord. See, there you go. That's what you get for being productive. How dare you? Next time, procrastinate, sit on social media. Job's a good one. Anyway, I will stop the discussion just there, because we all know what the main story of the day will be, so we might as well jump straight into that. Yeah, it's fun enough. It's about to be a PS5. I don't know what the chances. So we might as well jump through that before we then start having that discussion. So the first story of the day, written by Sherif Saed at VG247. The article says PS5 launches November 12th in some regions and then the rest of the world on November 19th. Sony has officially revealed how much the PlayStation 5 is going to cost and when it will be available. On today's PS5 showcase, Sony shared the big news PlayStation fans have been waiting to hear for months. The price and launch date of its next-gen console. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to ditch my chewing gum into a tissue because it's getting in the way of being fluent. I mean, I don't need anything getting in the way of that anyway because I always cock up the articles as I'm reading them, but chewing gum getting in the way as well. Anyway, there we go. The PS5 Standard Edition is priced at £449, whereas the Digital Edition is £359. Both versions arrive November 12th in select markets and November 19th in the rest of the world. So that includes the UK. In the UK, we are the rest of the world. What they mean by the rest of the world is pretty much Europe, but November 19th. So that's November the 12th for US, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea. The global rollout will continue on November 19th, with launches throughout the rest of the world, including Europe, Middle East, South America, Asia, and South Africa. A price for the standalone DualSense wireless controller was also revealed. It will run you $69.99. How much is that in pounds? I have bought the extra controller. I don't actually know how much it was. The announcement ended speculation about just how expensive the next generation of PlayStation is going to cost players. How expensive it's going to cost? What?
It definitely was. What time did this article come out?
9:48
last night.
I mean, yeah.
So that was it. Was still going on at this point, wasn't it? So they're just like,
Sherif's absolutely just bashing buttons. How expensive is it going to cost? Sorry, Sherif, you got it out and you absolutely nailed it, and it's on the scoop. So do you know what? Forget the typo. You've absolutely belted it out. So GG. So the announcement ended speculation just about how expensive the next generation of PlayStation is going to be, and whether Sony would match Microsoft's prices for the Xbox Series X and Series S. Sony's already revealed a number of big games exclusive to PlayStation 5, including Spider-Man Miles Morales as a launch title, as well as other games due in 2021, like the new Ratchet & Clank and the anticipated sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. The company also inked several deals with third-party publishers to make their games available exclusively on PS5 alongside PC when they release, such as Bethesda with both Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. Those who follow the industry closely have been practically bracing for a higher than usual price since PS5 specs were made public. In the months since, Sony executives chose to highlight the supposed value players are getting with the PS5 rather than focus on price talk. So what does everybody think? Let's jump to the split screen. What you all guys think? If you're in the chat, please feel free to jump in, as a lot of people have. Aratrack says, then why buy the other one? If you pick up bargains, if you buy second-hand games, if you trade games, or just lend games across groups of friends, then there's a reason for that. I mean, I have gone for the disc edition because of all of that. And to be fair, I've only really had, I said yesterday, I've only had one game in my console over the last 12 months, probably, one disc edition. Actually two, because I had Resident Evil 2 from Bibi, the remake, and PUBG as well. Actually, no, tell the 3, because I had Jedi Fallen Order as a disc edition as well. So I still have some games on disc, but yeah, most of them are digital. But that disc drive gives me the option. Asim, Mr. T says, "What's a PS5?" I don't know. Mr. T was one of the first that I saw getting their pre-orders in as well from Game. He was the one that actually inspired me to go through, because at that point I was sat there going, no, I'm going to wait for Amazon. I'm going to get it from Amazon. I'm going to get it from. I'm just going to have a look at Game, but I'm going to get it from Amazon. Oh, I can see it's there. It's the same price, and I can get it, but I'm going to get it from Amazon. Oh, I can see these bundles there with. No, I'm going to get it from. I might as well just get it now, I suppose. Yeah, I could get it now. Okay, I've got it now. Bye. Boom, straight in the basket. That was my thought process. It took about 5 minutes, with very little prompting, and that's it. Gone. I just wish there was a day one game release that made me think, wow, I want to get that console. I mean, what did you all watch the conference last night? The PlayStation Showcase. Did you see any of the games on that? What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, there was Godfall, there was the Hogwarts game, there was Miles Morales, there was Deathloop. There was more than that. Ads, thank you very much for the host, dude. Much appreciated. Mr. Gatekeeper TV says, 9:02 a.m. and the Amazon link wasn't working, but I managed to grab one. Craig says, I thought it was a great show, to be honest. Do you know what? I thought the same. I genuinely thought the same. I just not had some used to saying that. Pirate! Hey, you're dropping in the host. Thank you very much. Do you know, I thought the same. Me and Biv have watched most of the console reveals and showcases so far this year. And I've thought they've all been decent. Jihan, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you all getting involved in the stream this morning. Very much appreciate it. Thank you all. Yeah, me and Biv have watched through all of them, and whilst they've all been good, some of them have resonated a bit more. I don't think any of them have been bad at all. But I genuinely enjoyed last night's show because I think there was more games that I was looking at going, okay, I would play this. Okay, I would play this. Okay, I would play this. And it's kind of... It was a very PlayStation conference in terms of... PlayStation is many things. PlayStation is Astro Boy. PlayStation is all the way through to God of War and to Little Big Planet and things like that. But all of the games, even though there was a bit of variety in there, they all still spoke to me. So even when you got like the family sort of elements in it, which is like the Oddworld's, Abe's, I can't remember the name of it, the Oddworld game anyway. Even that kind of spoke to me. But I think probably on a memory sort of level. But yeah, every game that was shown, I was like, okay, I'd play this. The Harry Potter one, okay, this looks absolutely incredible. All of the games were shown, absolutely. I'd jump in. So I did see a lot of people going, okay, there's nothing in this that's really caught my attention. It was like, what was the tweet I saw? And it was like, it was the Alan Partridge sort of like, meh sort of thing. And I was thinking, really? I must have been watching a different show. What did you think about it, Bib? Did you see it?
I didn't see the show. No, I was in bed. Literally, like yesterday, I was just exhausted. No idea why. Didn't stay up late or anything like that. But yeah, so I haven't seen anything. So the first bits of information I got this morning was while I was pulling these articles and obviously what I saw on Twitter. But for me, I agree with what Asim said. He said that Sony kind of messed up two things. First one, the split launch, but I guess they have their reasons. Second, bigger one, no clear pre-order date and times. I do love a good midnight launch, but when I can physically go and pick it up myself, purely because I know that it's going to be happening. I didn't realise, because I didn't watch the show, that they were just going to be, right, okay, pre-orders have gone live now at 1 minute past 12.
Oh, they didn't. They didn't. It was even worse than that. Just jumping, Asim's comment there says, he's happy I got one. That said, Sony kind of messed up two things. The first one, the split launch, I guess they have their reasons. Second, a bigger one, no clear pre-order date or times. Say what you want about Microsoft, but they were clear in their messaging around that stuff. I mean, it was that. So you might have seen a white slide that had the two consoles with the four prices down the side. I think it was actually in the top of this article. Oh no, yeah, there it is. It's in this article. So this image on screen, PlayStation 5, £449, and then the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, £3,599, with obviously the dollars, euros, and yen prices next to it as well. That was taken from the stream, and then Chappers.
Can't wait for Five Nights at Freddy's 17.
Hey, can't wait for Five Nights at Freddy's 17. Thank you very much for the sub, Chappers. Beautiful, beautiful man. So that was on stream, and then it was followed by the two release dates. So the basically the American release date and then the rest of the world release date. That's the way that I can look at it. It wasn't just America, obviously. As mentioned, it was America, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and then the rest of the world. So those were on the screen, but then there was nothing. And even that bit about the dates and stuff was on the screen, but it was there for like super quick and it was gone. And everyone was like, fuck, I missed it. It's only... most people were jumping onto social media then, trying to find out, okay, what were the details that I just kind of saw but didn't quite get to take in. And then everyone's kind of, okay, when can we pre-order? When does all of that stuff go live? And there was just none of it. It just went. So you kind of sat there thinking, okay, give me a date of when I can pre-order, or if it's gonna be now, give me a specific time. And it was straight after the show. You've got Jeff Keighley going, okay, per PlayStation, the pre-orders are going to start tomorrow. Some select retailers might even start as soon as today. And it's like, okay, well, not only is that vague as fuck, Start tomorrow. Some select retailers. What's a select retailer? Are we talking select in America? Are we talking just Walmart? Are we talking about all of the Walmart companies? Would Asda have it in the UK? Would Asda get it before game? Does Amazon have it? So it was just like everyone was like, okay, well, I'm not going to rush to get it, but now this confusion and this panic, it's that panic that leads everyone to go, fuck, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. So that's the reason why I opted in last night. But yeah, you've got Jeff Keighley kind of being one of the first ones out there saying when pre-orders are going to go live. And then within the hour, you're starting to see, I don't know if it was GameStop or Walmart had gone live with their stuff in America. And then about 30 minutes later, Game in the UK went live. And it was bizarre. It just went from nothing to there, go. Games website, I don't know whether they were struggling under the strain. That you couldn't log in as yourself. So if you have an account that's full of reward points that you wanted to redeem to buy the console, you couldn't use that. You couldn't log into the account. And I assume that's either the website was under strain, so it stopped that working, or Game turned that off so that more people could log on to the website and just purchase as a guest. Which I have a Game account which has got all my details in, and I have one reward point, so it wouldn't have made a difference. But I had to check out as a guest to get the console to purchase it.
It said they were changing that today, though, didn't they? It said that everyone who's purchased it as a guest, I imagine using the same email address as they would for their normal Game account. All of it was going to get transferred over. I think they tweeted that like 25 minutes, half an hour ago.
Oh, did they? Okay. I mean, it's probably going to sound a bit of a snob here. I don't mean it's I'm going to get like 2,000 points or whatever they said, which equates to or something like £5 is what I will get back. Oh, no, actually, I think it was £510 is what I spent, so I'll get £5.10. Is it like 1% back or something you get on your points or something?
Christ knows.
I don't know. Well,
That's it's a bit shit if that's the case, isn't it? Because how much will you have to actually spend to be able to try and get a game back?
Well, if you want, if it's £100 gives you £1 back in that sense, then you need, what is it, £4,000 to be able to buy a £40 game? I can't do quick maths. I'm struggling. But yeah, I will lose out on £5.10 if they don't link it up and give me the points for it. I'm not that bothered because what can you buy in game for £5.10? And if you do get the £5.10, you can buy a game that you're waiting for that's probably going to be cheaper on Amazon. so I'm not that arsed. I'm not that bothered about getting my points. I want them because I'm entitled to them, but they're just going to sit on my account until I just go, oh, fuck it, I'm here, I might as well buy it now. So yeah. It'd be good to have them, but I'm not that bothered. Jumping back into the chat, Rock Pie, good morning, says Demon Souls looks good in 4K. Demon Souls actually did look really good. The only thing about the Demon Souls that was kind of annoying me is I would get, by the end of it, absolutely triggered by the footsteps. So you're this big dude in a suit of armor, just clunk, 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 and then you're slashing stuff, which is looking really cool. And the different ways of doing it, so blocking shields, early slashes, parries, and all of that sort of stuff. I'm thinking, okay, this looks pretty tasty. Back to running, clunk, 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 and it was just over and over and over and over and over, and I was like, oh my god, that would just absolutely send me under. If there needs to be an option to turn down footsteps or turn it off or something, because it was just over and over again. I'm clicking. I don't know if you've got that through RTX or not.
I heard it.
Asim says, also, enjoyed the showcase. Spidey and Demon Souls are day one. Spidey looked really good. I mean, it looked very similar to Spidey. Once you know how to do all the attacks and stuff, but it looked very good. It looked very good. Beans, Mr. Beans TV says, hello there.
If anybody's waiting for if everyone didn't manage to get hold of a console, AO's just gone live with their pre-orders.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Good
company. Apparently online, good company. And also very good customer service. So if they fuck up your order, they'll give you something discounted or free back. So yeah, always a good one. Number One Pirate says Argos are apparently doing pre-orders on Friday. So if you're listening to this later on today on YouTube, then tomorrow, that'll be Friday the 18th. Apparently, Friday's the day for Argos pre-orders. We will see. Beans agrees. Just adjust your game audio. Hopefully you can do that. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that was just one segment as well. But it was only on for like 2 minutes, was it? Not even that. And the footsteps were kind of triggering me at that sort of point. So yeah, I don't know if adjusting your game audio would do it enough. But I imagine they've got a long time to go before it comes out. If that is actually a problem, they'd fix it before then. Amazon didn't even have the digital edition unless it was hiding behind a drop down. They didn't, and then they did, and then they didn't. So Amazon went live with the first edition, like the full edition with the disc drive, and that stayed up for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then it sold out. And then about 5 minutes, 10 minutes after that, they went live again, but then with the digital edition. So it was almost like they were trying to make people buy the more expensive edition first before they then gave them the digital only. I mean, that's probably just a conspiracy theory sort of stuff that I've seen people saying. But I mean, I can see why people are jumping to that conclusion. But yeah, they went live with the disc edition for about 20 minutes and then it sold out. And then they went live with the digital edition and that sold out in about 4 minutes. You'd see people go, it's live! And it's gone. That's it. Game over. So
Well, AO's just whizzing now. You had Tabasco and it's just whizzing round in a circle. Very have not got any available for order. That's why I went to go and get mine. And you got through to the basket. You could put it in. You could go to checkout, and then you get a notification saying that it's been taken out your basket. Curry's apparently is down for maintenance. What a day for them to take their website down for maintenance. It's either that or that's just like the holding page because the site's got that much traffic running through it. But yeah, at the moment, I said yesterday it was going to be a scramble to be able to get hold of them, and that's exactly what it's turned out to be. I didn't think I would be very lucky to have been able to get one. If I was up at midnight, maybe I could have done if I was vigilant. But yeah, I'm in a group chat with like 6 of my mates, and none of them can get hold of them now because they all went to bed at a normal time. So yeah, it's kind of like a goalmouth scramble at this point.
I've had a few people messaging me today going, I don't suppose you know anyone or you can pull any strings in the industry, can you? And I was like, I don't know what you think I am.
Yeah.
I'm not.
What
I'm not.
about you're Graham Day?
I mean,
the Graham Day of ice cream upload. You can pull strings, mate. Puppet master.
I know. But yeah, most of the time, without even trying to, with no ego at all, most of the time, if somebody needs something, I could usually help in some way. But when the entire industry wants this one thing, then there's absolutely no way. So you're seeing people that are usually like early access to everything, journalists, content creators, or whatever, that are all like, well, I'm fucked. I've not got one. So yeah, I'm going to a store to pre-order because I need to trade my Pro at the same time. Not that I feel the need to pre-order currently. It says Luke. I did see you yesterday. I think you were one of the people that you weren't happy with the showcase. See, I really like the showcase. Like I said, I don't know whether it was because it was just a series of titles that spoke specifically to me. But bro, can I come yours tomorrow? I've not seen you since I came back from Turkey. Says Matt. I thought just having a quick chat. Hi. Yeah.
I'll speak to you away from this, Max.
So what was I saying? Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I mean, I'm a fan of Harry Potter and the whole world of Hogwarts and all of that sort of stuff. Anyway, I mean, forgetting all of the drama outside of that for now, we don't want to focus on that. We want to kind of keep the conversation to PS5 because we'll be here all day if we jump into other avenues as well. But yeah, Hogwarts, the Harry Potter Wizarding World theme game looked good to me. Spider-Man looked good to me, and obviously all the other ones that I've run through. So I was very happy with it. I'd be happy to play that. But the thing is, I have a PS4 Pro, and I'm happy to just upgrade so that I can play PUBG and use smoke grenades without my console just exploding. So that's a good upgrade for me. Yeah, there you go. Job's good.
I think it will. The Joe Public, in terms of that, includes me because I don't have a 4K monitor or anything like that to be able to get the best out of a PlayStation 5. Anyway, I don't even have the facilities to be able to get the best out of a PlayStation 4 Pro. I literally just still have my normal PlayStation 4 with my 500 gigabyte hard drive included in it. So for this, I still technically am classed as the Joe Public because I'm not going to be making use of all the bells and whistles. But it still works for me.
Use smoke grenades without your console, risking becoming a smoke grenade. That's it. That's realism. PUBG, you throw a smoke grenade and it actually happens in your house. Wow. Luke says, I think Sony dropped the ball in telling us why PS5 is better than a PS4 Pro. I think to Joe Public, all the games probably look the same. I think both consoles have had that, to be fair. A lot of people do have that sort of outlook as well, in terms of Xbox made a point of having not generations. It's an ecosystem. It's the Xbox ecosystem. You can opt into it with a Series S, Series X, or a One X, or a One S. You can play that way. Whereas PlayStation were like, it's a generational upgrade. But now, well, actually, do you know, I'll stop. I'll cut myself short for just a second because I'll jump into the next article, which is what I was about to start steal from. As Steph Nunneley from VG247 says, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Sackboy, A Big Adventure, and Horizon Forbidden West are coming to PS4. So Sony has announced that 3 of its big PS5 titles will also be released for the PS4. Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Sackboy, A Big Adventure, and Horizon Forbidden West will all be released for PS4. Sony confirmed today. According to the company, while the 3 games were developed to showcase the PS5 and its unique next-gen features, PS4 owners will also be able to enjoy the games when they launch. Give me 1 second. The PS4 digital versions of launch games include a free upgrade on both PS5 consoles, while the PS4 disc versions of these games include a free upgrade on the PS5 with Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive. Sony announced the price, release date, and when you can pre-order the new console today during its PS5 showcase. Pre-orders for PS5 kick off at select retailers tomorrow, and the console will launch November 12th or 19th, depending on the region. It will also run you $499 for the standard and $399 for the digital version, or your regional equivalent. That's dollars there, by the way. So, yeah, talking about the point Luke was just making then, in terms of Sony dropping the ball on why the PS5 is better than the PS4 Pro. PS5 is better because it has better games. PS5 is the only place you can play Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Horizon Forbidden... Oh, actually, no, they're on the PS4 now. So that's where the water starts to get muddy, because the Xbox was talking about generations. If you want to experience stuff at its fullest, new games, then you need to jump forward a generation. Whereas the PlayStation isn't as clear cut as we were kind of led to be. Actually, yeah, the PlayStation isn't quite as clear cut, because they were saying you had to jump forward for that. Xbox saying, okay, well, there is no Series X exclusives. You can play them on the One X or the Series X. Whereas PlayStation will say no, PS5, but now PS4. So there is a little bit of that. I mean, for me, like I say, I mean, the fact that my PS4 Pro isn't perfect is a reason, and the fact that things will load and download and install much faster is a good reason. But most people don't care about that. Most people are your core casual gamers that don't give a shit about how long it takes a game to install or that sort of stuff. They're just going to play the game. So yeah, there definitely is a disconnect there, 100%. With the PS5 bonanza back on screen. But yeah, going to a store to pre-order is good anyway, because if you have old consoles that you want to get rid of, then do that. I'm probably gonna pass my explosive PS4 Pro onto Chloe so she can use it as a pro Fortnite machine, which has also been confirmed as coming to PS5.
Yeah, I was sat here before playing Pro Evo, or trying to, and FIFA. I know I play Pro Evo. FIFA's in the console. Just started ejecting the disc again. So my PlayStation is well and truly on its last leg. So I'm looking forward to getting this one ASAP before mine actually blows up, or it just stops working altogether. I mean, the disc drive at the moment, I'm sure there's an easy fix for that. I'm sure it's like a screw becomes loose, because I've only took it apart once, and that was to clean it, and that was maybe 2 years ago. But I'm sure it's just like a screw that you put back in for the disc drive becomes a little bit loose. But yeah, it just starts spitting out a disc now whenever it feels like it. So I imagine if I was playing something on a disc, like we played PUBG, and in PlayStation just starts ejecting discs, I won't be able to use it. But yeah, at the moment, it's not good.
A human alien says, I don't see any reason why to get a PS5 just yet. We'll wait for a year at least. I mean, that's the thing with most generations as well. Pretty much any generation, you might get a few launch titles, but most generations, you have to get 3 months to 6 months in before you start to get some solid reasons to upgrade. I remember getting the PS4 and PS4, I was obviously maining PES like nothing back then, and we didn't have an urgent reason to upgrade to the PS4 because 2013 was still on the PS3. We had to wait for PES 2014. No, PES 2014, sorry, was still PS3. We had to wait for PES 2015. 2014, obviously, new engine and all. So anyway, it wasn't the greatest experience for me moving forward. So I'm there playing games like Resogun, which was fun, and it has stuck with me. But it's not a game that I would have chosen to play. So yeah, there's no need to rush. And if you are rushing into it, the fact that there is cheaper versions of both consoles is pretty good. So 249 for the Xbox Series S and 359 for the PlayStation Digital Edition. That's something though. That was the key thing for me. I think the what does everyone else think of the pricing? What do you think of the fact that it's 249 for or was it 299 actually? Was it 299 for the Xbox console? I can't quite remember. But
Not 249 for this for the basic version, which is significantly shitter than the proper version.
So 249 for a downgraded version, but was it like 399? I think it was. I've got the article with the PlayStation prices here. 359. So 110 quid more. That's basically a couple. It's not even the price of a couple of controllers or a controller and a base sort of station to go from having a low end Xbox to a top end PS5. What do you guys feel about that price?
I have a theory.
What's that?
If it was any cheaper, if it say it was £50 for the sake of a hard drive, one, it's a Blu-ray player as well, so you're playing obviously not just a normal DVD player that you could probably pick up for a tenner. It's a Blu-ray player as well, so you're getting some good quality films coming out of this machine. But not only that, say it was £50 cheaper, just for the sake of not having a hard drive, no one is going to buy the digital version. Why would they buy the digital version for the sake of £50? They have to make it significant enough that it's a real choice for people to make. Because, like, did you buy the digital edition?
No, I've got the disc drive one.
No, right. So if for people who only play discless games, so they play the digital ones, if it was £50, I assume in their heads they'll go, do you know what? For the sake of 50 quid, I'm kind of future proofing myself for at least the next 5 years. I'll buy the disc drive version. That's my theory anyway. If it's sake for £50, then why not buy the disc version?
90 quid is a bit different. So there's 90 quid difference between the PS5 and the PS5 digital edition, and then another 110 quid difference between the PS5 and the Xbox Series S. So I mean, long story short, doesn't matter if you're a general gamer, you do have many options. You've got 249 as a price point, 359 as a top end model price point, and then 449 as the all singing, all dancing price points on both systems. So in terms of people that want to opt into next gen, if they want to do that this Christmas, then there's definitely a lot of variety, which is good. Pricing it seems really good for PlayStation Digital Edition, says Human Alien. It is 359 is huge because it's a very calculated move as well because it's not too far away from the low end. Sony announces disc-only exclusive releases. I mean, 359 is not too far away from the cheap Xbox price, so they can say, okay, we're close to that, but we're still better a console. It's the top console. But it's also 359 is the same caliber of console as the Xbox Series X. Obviously, the Series X has some differences some. What's the word I'm looking for? It's better in certain ways. Obviously, the PS5 SSD is better in certain ways, but the PS5 Digital Edition is on par with the Xbox Series X, but it's still 90 quid cheaper.
Yeah,
that has to be a
we
decision.
was praising Xbox for going in with such a low price point for entry level next gen gaming. Like it's not very often that we get to praise Microsoft and Xbox for some of their stuff. Like obviously Game Pass stuff, we will shout from the rafters. But
Best deal in gaming,
praising them. Yeah, best deal in gaming, exactly. Yeah. But this is. Do we feel now that they are lagging a bit behind? Because not only there's obviously they went first, they had all the fanfare that comes along with it. Like we're praising and say entry level stuff, 250 sheets, get in. That's amazing. And now PlayStation has said, actually, if you want entry level gaming stuff, you can have the top tier stuff for £110 less. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
It's a big move. It's a big move because what PlayStation's decision there is to, okay, we want to match pound for pound top end with Xbox, but the ace in our whole, the ace in Xbox as a whole is having the cheaper entry point. The ace in PlayStation's whole is okay. We have the exact same system, but we have a function to offer the exact same system cheaper. So we'll forget bargain basement. We're not Poundland. We don't want the 249 console. We want the better console. Nothing wrong with Poundland, by the way. But yeah, they have the ability for having two consoles at the same spec minus a drive, giving them two price points at that. They can match the price point with Xbox and undercut it at the same time. And by doing that, they're forcing people into a digital ecosystem where games are going to cost £70 and will stick at £70 and they'll earn much more on the digital game sales than they would if they were selling physical game sales. So they're going, okay, well, we'll just do that because we know a lot of people are digital now anyway because it's just convenience. Also, COVID has helped with speed up that sort of industry change. So we know there's an install base there of digital Sony gamers. We can pick those off because we are undercutting the price for the top spec Xbox console whilst not really losing functionality. Yes, you lose the disk drive, which is a function, but if you've not been using it anyway, then you're not losing functionality. You're saving yourself £90 to buy the digital edition console, which is only £110 more than Xbox's bottom end stuff. So yeah, it's a big move. They have to be losing money. If not on both consoles, on the digital edition, they have to be losing money. And that you have to feel is the play to bring more consumers into the ecosystem. You got to think about PlayStation holds their price better than Xbox. I remember trying to swap my Xbox for a PS4 and it wasn't happening. A few people I saw that are saying that as well last night in terms of, I mean, that's something I never consider because once I get a console, it's there to stay pretty much. And I will add the other one to it eventually. So it's not something I ever really consider, but that is a good point. You quite often see, if you've ever been on Facebook Marketplace, people are always swapping shit, and I'm not a swapper of things at all. But you'll get like, oh, I want to swap my TV for a phone and or an Xbox or whatever. But then, yeah, you always see people swapping Xboxes. Want to swap for a PS4? We'll swap plus cash or something like that. And it's like you say, same sort of console, but it's the demand for it. There definitely is that. Craig says the likes of Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed Valhalla being launched titles pretty much is the reason I have jumped. I know I can play them PS4, but I will feel they will be amazing on next gen consoles. And that's it. If you have a 4K TV, then it will be. It will look spectacular. You'll get all of the benefits of ray tracing. Anyone playing on a PC with ray tracing will see how good that looks compared to playing on a PC that doesn't have ray tracing like mine. So having the ability to have much faster loaded times, much faster install times, ray tracing, and solid 4K 60/120 FPS gameplay. There definitely is reasons to jump there. As for pricing, Luke says, I remember paying £450 for a PS1, so the fact that it's not increased is remarkable. It is incredible. I mean, we've spoken about this a few times. Usually about the games. Like, should we all be pissed off that games are now going to cost $60, $70? I mean, the 60 to 70 pounds, or was it dollars? I think it was dollars. Really, we shouldn't, because with inflation, if consoles cost £450 25 years ago for the PS1, then surely they should be about £1,000 or whatever the fuck they are now with how much pricing has gone up. Well, maybe not £1,000, but there should be a lot more. And the fact that we're getting a console that does significantly more, there's probably more technology in a DualSense controller than there is in a PS1 console. So we're getting a controller that has more technology, plus the console that can do shitloads, and the price is still the same. £60 still feels outrageous for a game. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's all relative. The bit, I mean, I've mentioned it before, and I will mention it a million times afterwards. Is how many hours can you get out of that game? I know that £60 feels outrageous because that's what the perception has been developed around it. But if you get 40 hours out of a game, and spend £60, then that's a lot of hours for your £60 in terms of entertainment terms. How many hours will you get for going to the cinema, for example? That's the one I always use. You could spend £40 for one trip to the cinema for 2 hours of enjoyment, whereas obviously video games have they came from the need of not being from an area of not being popular. Everyone watched films because films have been around since 1920. And it's become a strong part of life. Everyone's developed and built with it, so the price of films has gone up because it's still something that society demands. Video games, as much as we all want to love it as it being a cultural thing, it's not really been that for very long in the grand scheme of things. The world is still new to video games, so the cost and the benefit, the need for video games isn't there, so the cost isn't there.
Well, it's 45 quid to go and watch City, and I would absolutely love to go and watch City every single week, but that kind of money I just don't have. Obviously, City are not a working man's club anymore, unfortunately. The price kind of takes people out unless you can afford a season ticket, but the fact that for an extra 15 quid I might be able to play a AAA game that I'm going to get, well, the type of games that I play anyway, like 40, 50 hours worth of gameplay out of, and enjoyable stuff. Not to mention sports games that can literally go on forever. Yeah, £60 for me. I think that's acceptable. I usually expect. I've been expecting this price hike for the last, I don't know, 10 years and still haven't got them. So it's starting now when I know that developer costs and everything else that goes along with it, production, manufacturing, distribution, all that crap has been going up and up and up, and they've been taking a loss on that stuff for God knows how long. I'm more than happy to be able to compensate that.
Just kind of googling. I know that Avengers Endgame is the biggest film of all time. Just because Rock Pie's comment, cinema is dying though, so maybe not the best example. Or is it the highest gross? I can't remember. I don't know where the list is. There you go. Avengers Endgame. Last year, it became the highest worldwide grossing film of all time. So technically not. But the point kind of ties into what Asim's just said. About time the price of AAA games increased. They cost a lot to make. I think that's it. Not all games are going to cost you 60 quid, but the big AAA ones probably will. And they cost a shitload to make. So Avengers Endgame, cinema is dying. You do have an underlying point. Like a lot of things that require people to go out of the world can die over time. But things of cultural and significant interest, so like Avengers Endgame being this culmination of a 20-year franchise that has roots going back 50 years in comics and so comics. Avengers Endgame was a significant cultural moment, so absolutely smashed out of the park. That deserves money. That's why it was expensive to go. That's why people were having to pay full price tickets and blah 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 whatever. And video games, same sort of thing. The Last of Us Part 2 this year, regardless of what you thought of the game, before it releasing, that was a cultural thing of significance that was everywhere. There's TV shows coming off of it and films being discussed. I don't know if that was signed or not. So yeah, there's definitely the cinema thing still applies, but like Bibby said, I mean, it doesn't just have to be cinema. You could use football. I mean, technically everything's dying right now. You can't do cinema. You can't really do football. You can't go to a gig. A gigs could be same sort of thing, but a gig, I mean, that's the same. You get 2, 3, 4 hours for that, and you probably will spend more than you would spend going to the cinema. So that's more than the cost of a video game to go for a gig for a couple of hours. But you have something that's fun and you enjoy and you experience, and it hits your emotions, and you've got memories that you take away from it, which is exactly what a video game gives you. So is that any less valuable? And arguably, there's probably more people involved in the production of a video game than there is in the production of a gig. Not that it's any more valuable, but there's more people in it. So yeah, I think I don't want to spend more. Nobody wants to spend more, and it comes from something called NIMBYism, not in my backyard. People want things as long as it doesn't put them off. People want the right things as long as it doesn't get in the way of what they want. So a good example is like windmills. Everyone thinks, oh, wind energy is amazing, but I don't want a windmill in my back garden because that would be loud and in the way and shit. Fuck that shit. It's the same sort of thing. I want people to get paid well in the industry, and I want people to have right working conditions, but I don't want to spend enough to pay for that. People can, but not me. And yeah, I don't want to spend any more. I want my money to be my money. But I also think, realistically, video games, for them to continue evolving at the rate they have been, things need to change, and be that cost or subscription services or what. And that's why we're starting to see things like Game Pass and Apple Arcade and so on. Realize that as they are, video games aren't sustainable on the projection, the growth curve that they are. So yeah, prices do need to change. People spend hundreds on in-game coins and stuff, so yeah, I don't see it as a big deal at all. Yeah, but in-game coins and stuff, that those coins and things, depending on the games, that could be for specific characters or licensed content, and those licensed content, it's not just free money that goes into pocket. You have to either pay for development of those additional content, you have to pay for maintenance of live servers, and then you could just have to pay for the licenses. If you're paying for the UEFA Team of the Season players, having that content, having them being coin eligible, allows them to pay for licenses as well. So, but don't forget that that's just a top end deal. If you're looking at having people spending hundreds on coins and in-game purchases, once again, that's just something that speaks to the top end. So that helps cover off their insane costs. But smaller companies that don't necessarily have those in-game purchases will still have their fees. They will still need to render 4K and 8K texture packs, and they will still need to develop for 120 FPS, but they don't have coins and in-game purchases and things like that too. £45 for a movie. I pay £8 in Norwegian. I mean, I don't mean £45 in total for that. I'm kind of saying like two people going to watch a movie, and buying popcorn and a drink and so on. Cinema prices in the UK, I don't know about in Norway, but cinema prices in the UK are ridiculous. It'll cost like £10 to £15 per person, unless you're getting it on a Meerkat Movies or Orange Wednesdays discount sort of ticket or something like that. It'll cost you a bag of skips or not skips, M&Ms or Revels or Maltesers or whatever sweets you want. That's usually £1 in Tesco, is £4 in the cinema, and obviously you need a bag each, because none about sharing that one grab bag. What's that about? So there's another £8. Your drinks are about a fiver. So yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupidly costly. I mean, you can get it cheaper, but even still, you're probably paying about £30-ish at minimum if you're going in with some snacks and stuff to have that experience. And even then, if you went twice, which is the cost of a game, you're probably getting 4 to 6 hours out of it. So that's what I'm saying. Asim says, with inflation and in line with other mediums, they should be way more than £60, but people have this perception due to not being upped for so long. AAA game makers can afford it, especially as certain ones are tax dodgers and or don't pay their developers enough, and likely still won't. What? Oh, there we go. AAA game makers can afford it, especially as certain ones are tax dodgers and or don't pay their developers enough, and likely still won't. Asim says, well, sources, and that's Iceman says, basing it off of Jim Sterling in relation to Activision. Shimmer says, fair play if people have the disposable income to last £60 a pop on a game, but it's going to drastically reduce how often I can buy a title throughout the year. I mean, I completely agree. I'm not saying, that's what I'm saying, it's that there is a cause and effect. There is a cost. Every action has a reaction, and by putting up the cost of a game, we get less opportunity to play those games. Like I said, I would like my money to be in my pocket rather than someone else's. I work hard for my money. I want to spend it on me. By having to spend more on a game, I get to spend less on me because it doesn't go as far. I completely agree with you. But yeah, like I say, in terms of the industry, there is a breaking point, because at a point you'll be like, okay, well, I'm now still spending £45 on a game. It's just a 12-hour game, not a 40-hour game, because yeah, everything else that goes into it. I don't want to pay more, but I expect more. So yeah, games getting prettier, games getting bigger, games needing more developers. Like there was an image that I saw the other day of the development team for, I think, Super Mario World from 1992, and it was like 7 people, seven blokes in Japan made Super Mario World, which was an incredible game. But now you'll have hundreds of people working on the game, but the prices are still the same, and that's where the money, the extra money, goes to. Rock Price says, just ask your boss for a £60 a month pay rise. There you go, job done. We'll just get like a game sort of like charity, not charity, sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a drive set up. So you got Marcus Rashford doing actual cultural things, like trying to get kids, make sure they get free school dinners. We'll get Marcus Rashford starting on the next one, which is make sure everyone gets one game free per month. That's what it should be. I'm not sure it's sustainable. We've got a debate opening up in the chat. Jim Sterling isn't the be-all and end-all, mate. He's a pretty nasty man. I could tell you some stories, but another day time. At the end of the day, it's a luxury hobby. I want a Ferrari, but can I afford one? No, not going to dwell on it. I'm happy with what I have. Asim has 3 Ferraris, so don't believe that. I've seen them. I've seen them. Tito says, I would like to know how much development costs have gone up when you average the cost over the sales. I admit games dev probably does cost more, but arguably the market is much, much bigger. Plus, we now have in-game purchases. Yeah, I mean, it's the game dev costs have gone up significantly. But there is all sorts of stuff in terms of profitability. Just because a game shits out profit doesn't necessarily mean that all that profit goes to the developers either. Because obviously, for a market to be successful and for more money to be in it and for it to be global, obviously shareholders come into it, and there is still the point of lining pockets of shareholders. That still exists. That's capitalism. So you can't necessarily begrudge the fact that people are profiting off of propping up an industry, because that exists in every industry. But yeah, development time. Absolutely. Do games companies do Q&A nowadays? Good point. Don't get me wrong. I used to work in the industry. I know the costs that go into it. End of my time in the industry, budgeting costs for Q&A. No, nobody does Q&A anymore. It's fine. It's fine. That's what your betas are for. You make money off of the Q&A period. However, the return. I'm joking about it. However, the returns are also incredible. They make more than enough to keep a decent studio sustainable. That's it. But that money then goes into paying astronomical wages. So it's not always fair. In terms of what's the dude at Activision? Is it Bobby Kotick? Is that his name? The guy that's like earning more than all of his studio put together. So it's not necessarily fair. The industry as a whole can't be like pushed with can't be what's the word? Painted with one brush, as in, oh, it's fine. They all need the money. Some areas are absolutely milking it. Oh my god, my Slack, despite pausing my notifications twice, it's still
going on.
Yeah. Notifications. Boom. Okay, that should hopefully get it. Yeah, the industry can't be painted with one brush. Some areas of the industry will need the money. And some areas of one business will need the money, whereas other areas of businesses will be absolutely pocketing it. That's the world we live in. That's the world that we work in. But just because the money sharing isn't fair across the firm, doesn't mean that, okay, well, that's it. I'm not going to give you any more money until you sort things out, because the firm still has their ways of operating. They're not going to go, okay, well, we spend 20% on, I don't know, let's just call it general development, 20% on development. But now development has increased by 200%. We're not going to increase what we spend, because that would offset what we earn elsewhere. So to keep their status quos in place, obviously, yeah, by keeping all of that status quo in place, the price has to go up to go with it. But yeah, like I say, it's not a straightforward situation. It's not all innocent in terms of, could the companies be spending more internally? Absolutely. But with the scale of growth of games and the stagnation of prices, then yeah, some of that is on the customer as well. I don't agree with passing all of that on to the customer. You can't just make the customer pay for everything whilst you guys are all living it up. Completely agree. I'm going to be buying games too. I don't want to be spending stupid money so Bobby Kotick can get his 12th yacht, or Asim can get his 4th Ferrari. I know you, Asim. But at the same time, I can't just expect to just keep getting more and more and more as time goes on, and that team of 7 people becomes 700 people, and just think, okay, well, you know what, you guys can just pay for it. It's fine. So there's getting the balance between expecting developers to pay for it just because they earn all the money, and then obviously being able to sustain a business that I want to enjoy for the years ahead. Depends which of the area you're working for. Not everyone is going to be on 50k plus. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, which that ties nicely into what our third article was. I probably should have stopped to jump into this before we had that discussion anyway, but let's just jump onto it. As Andy Robinson from VGC says that PlayStation confirms its PlayStation 5 games will cost up to $70 or £70, while some smaller or family titles will cost less. Sony has confirmed that first-party PlayStation games will retail up to £70, mimicking an industry-wide trend towards more expensive games on next-gen consoles. Launch titles Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition will all each retail for £69.99. The standard edition of Spider-Man, which does not include a remaster of the original game, will retail for £51.99, while family title Sackboy: A Big Adventure will retail for £59.99. On Wednesday, Sony confirmed that PlayStation 5 will launch that November 12th. Okay, we know all that bit. So PlayStation confirming that prices will go up to £70. So £69.99 for Demon's Souls, Destruction All Stars, and Miles Morales. $51.99 for the standard edition of Spider-Man, and then $59.99 for Sackboy. So between £50 and £70 confirmed from PlayStation there. QA testers at EA Romania get about £300 a month. Software devs get maybe 1 to 1.5k in GBP. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That is filth. And those companies are earning shitloads of money, and they should be covering that stuff off. I'm not saying that by putting the price of games up, people will get paid more and better working conditions. That is a human resources, and just not even human resources. That is a human issue. That is something I take away separately from the price of this thing. EA has the money to fix that. They absolutely do. And yeah, they could probably send some PR dude out to tell me otherwise or whatever. That's just being bad people. If people are getting paid £300 a month and you're earning bajillions of pounds, then something is wrong. But those billions of pounds of profit, that security is what allows the whole marketing campaign, which is what allows for purchasing Star Wars titles, and which is what allows for the developing engines and so on. Having that level of comfort and security below you is what allows companies to make those comfortable steps forward. If that money wasn't there because it was all put into other things, not just keeping people like with actual human livelihoods, then yeah, if that money wasn't there and that was all eroded, then we wouldn't get the advancements in the industry. So the money going into that, I support. The money not going into wages, that's just something else. That's absolutely horrendous. Bring down capitalism. I mean, there is. Do you know what? I'm all for capitalism because I consider myself an able person. If I want to do something, I will make sure that I go out and do it to a point where I succeed because I have the freedom to do that. But there is downside to capitalism, and that's it. But anyway, let's move away from all of capitalism and communism and fascism and all the isms. Let's go into something else. Eat the rich. There you go. There we go. That's the plan. That's the plan. Does anybody want an extra slice of Bobby Coding? Try the thigh. It's really good. Do you know what? Let's put a pin in things. Let's start wrapping things up because do you know what? The PS5 bonanza has gone from like pretty much circle jerking each other off about the fact that we can or can't get it from Game or Amazon or wherever to eating the rich. So let's put a pin in that one, and let's go on to some more potentially negative, but not really negative. Just a changing of the time. So obviously we're talking about the newest consoles and what is happening now. What will soon be available? Let's talk about what will no longer be available, as Nintendo has officially discontinued the 3DS. The handheld is listed as out of production on its Japanese website, while the US removes all mention. Nintendo has discontinued every model of its Nintendo 3DS handheld 9 years after its launch in 2011. In a statement issued to VGC's network partner GI.biz, Nintendo confirmed that production on the handheld had ended earlier this year. We can confirm that the manufacturing of the Nintendo 3DS family of systems has ended, a spokesperson said. Nintendo and third-party games for the Nintendo 3DS family of system will continue to be available in Nintendo eShop on Nintendo.com and at retail. The existing library of more than 1,000 Nintendo 3DS games contains many critically acclaimed titles and can provide years of content to explore and enjoy. In total, Nintendo has over 75 million 3DS consoles worldwide, which is less than half of its predecessor, the hugely popular Nintendo DS, but still a successful return given the rise of the mobile market. 3DS received several iterations throughout its lifespan, including 3DS XL, improved new 3DS, and stripped back 2DS XL. Last year, Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser, which is still the best name for a Nintendo employee, insisted the company wasn't giving up on 3DS despite failing to announce any new games for the platform at that year's E3 show. Do you know what? We don't need the numbers. Nintendo 3DS is gone. Is that a surprise to you, babe?
Absolutely not. I imagine it's fallen off a cliff, 3DS sales, since the Nintendo Switch came out. Is it 3 years ago now? Nintendo Switch?
Something like that?
Maybe nearly 4. So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, the 3DS is the DS still the best-selling handheld of all time?
I think so. Do you know? I'll have a look.
But in the grand scheme of things, no, it doesn't surprise me that that is started to deteriorate. I mean, the 3DS compared to the Switch Lite, that's what
Yeah,
people will want you to buy instead, won't it?
the Nintendo DS family is currently 0.98 million behind the PS2. The PS2 sold 155 million units, whereas the Nintendo DS family sold 154.02 million. So almost a million behind the PS2. Woof, close. And then Game
Yeah.
Boy and Game Boy Color, 118 million.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to get into the new gen of video games when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, then playing it on the Lite is probably your best way. 3DSs clearly have been declining in sales because I don't think I would love to know the price difference between the 3DS and the Switch Lite because I can't imagine it being massive. So if you wanted to buy one or the other, then clearly you'd buy the Switch Lite instead, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I didn't even realize they were still being sold. If I'm being honest, 3DS. I mean, even a refurbished 3DS from Music Magpie is going to cost you £100. Why would you be spending £100 on a console that launched like when I've just said when did we just say it launched? It's gone now. Oh well, so a console that's been out forever and has already been superseded. Why would you be spending still £100 on that when you've got? I mean, what's the DS Lite now? Is that 199? Is it 299? Not DS Lite, Switch Lite.
Was it 189 when it came out? I've
Switch.
still got my Game Boy. It's still in a box in there that I haven't taken out, but I've still got my Game Boy Color that's got ISS in it. It's still got ISS in it.
Oh, there you go, Nintendo Switch Lite. If it's 199 at Argos Manchester Arndale, then it's going to be cheaper than that elsewhere, potentially. Why would you spend half the price of a Switch Lite on a 3DS? It just blows my mind. I've still got my OG Game Boy, says Rock Pie. I use it to play Tetris sometimes. Nice. I've got my. I don't have my old Game Boy Color. I've got the Game Boy Advance. Was it the Game Boy Advance, the one that was kind of shaped almost like PS
It was
Vita-ish?
like a phone sideways.
Yeah. So
Like that.
I've got my Game Boy Advance somewhere with. I think it's still got my Pokemon Yellow in it, plus a few other games. So yeah, I've got that somewhere. I always find I think it's in the loft. I'm pretty sure it's in the loft. And I say that because I go in the loft and I go, oh, there's my Game Boy. There's no way that's going to have any power left. It turns on, and then I sit there and play like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 minutes of a game, and then put it back in the box and turn it off until the next time I go in the loft and go, oh look, I wonder if it's still. Oh, it turns on, and then repeat every 3 to 6 months or something like that. Coming up to 25 years old now. Jesus, what is the DS? Is that how old the 3DS is? Or the DSs are? That's incredible if it is. The 3DS launched in 2011. Ooh. Or the Game Boy. Oh, okay, I'm gonna say but the Game Boy's older than 25 though, surely. Because the PlayStation.
The original Game Boy was 88, maybe, I think. It was before I was born. I was born in 90.
Game Boy first released in 1989. So
89.
31 years old. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna say it was out before the the PlayStation. Oh, your Game Boy. Ah, okay, that specific one. I get you now. Yeah, I'm gonna say the PlayStation is 25. And the Game Boy was around before that. But yeah, yours is. Well, do you know what? It's probably gonna go for another 25 years as well. So that wouldn't surprise me if it did. Wouldn't surprise me if it did. Anyway, I think we should wrap things up. We're an hour and 10 minutes in. So yeah, let's pull things together. The PS5 is. I'm going to say it loosely, is available for pre-order right now, ish. The ish being that, do you know what? It is, but it's sold out everywhere and it is selling out pretty fast. Bib was looking at AO.com to see whether he could get a pre-order on there.
Still whizzing. Wayne and Mike have both tried ordering through AO and it's just whizzing, and then the site has just fallen on its ass as they're getting through to the checkout part. So that is no longer a viable option. Currys isn't available anymore. Argos are running theirs tomorrow, apparently.
I'd recommend having a look at sites like Stock Informer and what's the other one? It's another one that tweets out whenever things are back in stock or prices are being discounted. But things like Stock Informer will tell you when things have stock, and you can sign up for notifications. So look for alternatives. Yes, Stock Informer, my friend. There you go. So yeah, Stock Informer is a good one. There may be others as well out there. You can sign up for notifications, so if it comes in stock, you will get notified. A bit like the BirdBot stuff, but with less malicious intent behind. That's probably, if you want to get your pre-orders in, that's probably a good way to do it if you haven't done it yet. Keep your eyes on the likes of Amazon and Game, because they will probably get more stock provided. Oh, Shop2 alive now, says Asim. So there you go. Check shop2.net. Is it still .net? Posture check. So check out shop2.net. Or get an Xbox, says Kevlar. Well, there you go. There's that too. Are the Xbox stock levels have they normalized? Did they drop or anything before? Oh god. Yeah, Asim says the Shop2 site is slow as fuck, but they are live. So make sure you check that out. By the time you see this on YouTube, they're probably not going to be. Pirates of Shop2 was sold out, no? Question mark. It could be. It could be. I paid a penny for notifications from Shop2 this morning. Now they're saying they're sold out completely.
You paid 1 penny to get an email?
Is that like to be like put on the kind of pre-order sort of list kind of thing? Is that how that works? One whole P. I'd be raging. I'd want that P back. I'd be like, now
Raging eye.
Raging eye. But anyway, enough raging. We are going to wrap things up. Thank you very much, everyone, for being in the stream. We've had quite a lot of viewers all the way through. Clearly, a lot of demand for the PS5, and unsurprising as the demand is massive out there. How many of you are tuned into the stream to see if we could tell you where you can buy it? If you did, apologies. We don't have any special secret ways of getting hold of it, other than Stock Informer. But yeah, and the like. Make sure you check those out. We are going to disappear. I'm going to jump on. Thursday is usually a day that I play PUBG. But I think I might play some PES instead. So if anyone fancies a few games of co-op PES, then feel free to jump in. Not Bib, because he's got golf, because, you know, he doesn't care about us. So whatever, Bib. Whatever. Don't care, mate. Beans! I don't know if Beans is still here. Beans, I was talking to yesterday. Beans said that he would jump in for a few games. So yeah, I might jump in for some co-op My Club if anyone fancies that. And if not, you know, maybe you might just jump back into the old PUBG of things as well. And some days we don't have chatbot because, you know, we forget. But now we're back in the studio. We have chatbot twice. So whenever you type in socials, you get everything twice. So follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Insta, YouTube, and YouTube. Thank you to the bot, and also thank you to Pirate for dropping those links in. Much appreciated. Merch, all stuff is in there as well. Nice. Double links. There you go. Anyway, before we do disappear though, Bib, anything you want to throw in?
Yes, if you do have any video game news that you want to hear our thoughts and impressions on, then there's two ways you can do that. First of all, click any one of the 750 links that have just been placed into the chat there, or find us on all major social media platforms, which is at Ice Cream Muttles across the lot. Secondly, join our Discord. Please join our Discord. If you are a Twitch subscriber to us, get into our Discord. Make sure you link them, because you will be opted in to winning some prizes of some sort each and every month. Whilst you're in the Discord, there's a little section there that says new the scoop. All you need to do, drop in the link to the article as well as your thoughts and impressions. We'll then give our thoughts and impressions at the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
10 a.m. Ish. A little bit of housekeeping before we go, though. The Muscle Moose Cup is live, and there will be a tournament tonight. If you want to get involved in the tournament, oh no, Pirate's already on it. Never mind, he's put the links in the chat. Let's see which is that our reveal thing. That is our reveal thing. There we go. Nice. Okay, I will show you. Cheers, Pirate. What a guy. There we go. So this is the tweet we put out last night. Congrats to Juninho123 for winning qualifier number 1. So the Muscle Moose Cup started last night. We're running 8-man tournaments, so we'll play with however many players we have in each sign-up, but we will have no more than 8 per day. It will be first come, first served. And Juninho won last night. There will be another tournament tonight, another qualifier. Just use that link there, which will take you through to a Google form. Really, really simple Google form, it says, which isn't loading up. There you go. It gives you the details of qualifier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and when the grand final will be. The match settings. All you need to do is sign up with your name, email address, your gamer tag, and when you would like to play. That's it. Who you are and when you'd like to play, and you can get involved in the next tournament. Once again, big shout out to Juninho123 for winning yesterday. And he played pretty good. Played pretty good. I think he conceded twice, but scored like 13 goals or something like that. It was like filthy. But yeah, if you want to sign up, use that link. Tournament will be the qualifier will be taking place tonight. It will be at maximum an 8-player qualifier. So you'll have quarterfinal, semi-final, final at the maximum. So 3 games max, and you could be booking your place in the grand final, which will be on the Twitch front page next week. Not next week, the week after, the 30th. How old do you have to be, says Max? Old enough, any age, as long as you've got a copy of PES. I don't believe there's any age restrictions.
On PlayStations.
Yeah, that's it. You need a copy of PES on the PS4. If you have a PS4 and PES, then you can join in. It's as simple as that. You don't need anything else. There is no age. It's age bracketed by PES. That's what it is. The prize for winning has been provided by Muscle Moose, which has Lewis, Mr. Ferno Pez. Thank you very much for the host. We're just about to wrap up, but I will jump straight back on with some PES stuff. So it's not entirely wasted. Thank you very much. But yeah, the prize will be a Muscle Moose selection box. So if you're entering, then make sure you can have energy drinks and things like that, because that's included. It's fine. Lewis says, how do I enter this tourney? By the way, the link just a bit further up, but you might not have seen it, so I'll drop it back in for you. Wait, Muscle Moose has Lewis. Oh, there you go. Pirates dropped the link back in. So that link, it's just a form. The tournament is tonight. The next qualifier is tonight, 7 p.m, an 8-man qualifier. The next one will be tomorrow. Then we'll have 5 Monday to Friday next week, and then after that, it's all done. So you've got 7 more chances, including tonight, to get involved for the grand final, which will be on the Twitch front page Wednesday, 30th September, 7 p.m. Anyway, that's enough of that. Shimmer says, "Latest folks, enjoy the show and the debates in chat. Take it easy." Thank you once again for joining us, Shimmer. Much appreciated. Everyone else, thank you for the raids, the hosts, the subs as well. Even though it's not in the stream, it was Chappers dropping his sub there. Thank you very much, Chappers. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I will be back on imminently with some PES 2021 season update. Until then, have yourselves a lovely day and stay frosty.
Stay frosty.